Hello, guys, and welcome to the 39th edition of the Silence of Kojima podcast, aka SoKast. I am the swimming pool master, Lester, aka Anoko Pro, and we are joined by some beautiful people. First off, we have the beautiful and talented Alice,
Hey Lester, thank you for the introduction, and I'd like to say hello to the viewers.
and next off, we have the master of the peekaboo style, Jay.
Thank you, but there ain't nothing beautiful about me.
Yes, there
I'm just
is.
kidding. No, I'm good.
Yes. Um, anyway, next up we have the Doctor of Fizz.
How's it going, everybody?
We have the Awesome One.
Hello, and I would like to also say hello to my large following in the gay community.
Indeed. Next off we have Mr. Moonman.
How's it going, everyone?
And finally, but not least, we have the one and only Fred Fox.
Well, thank God there's one and only, because I don't know what we would do if there were more than one of me. But hello, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Lester, for the illustrious introductions. I very much appreciate that, and I'm sure that our loyal listeners did too. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Project 39. Yes, that is correct. This is 100% Patreon funded. We appreciate your donations. We will be so generous to only take $1,000 per month to take the time to make this podcast each and every week. So thank you guys for donating to the Patreon, indeed. And let's start with just one quick thing here, and that would be usually the charity update, but in this case, the charity challenge update. So, as you guys know, almost all of the charity challenges have been. Well, actually, I take that back. All of the charity challenges have been funded, I guess you could say, and they are incoming. So, Mr. Moonman here is excited as all get out to be doing the My Little Pony marathon. I believe we have some more coming, but for right now, we can confirm that the illustrious My Little Pony Marathon is in the works.
Most
What are-
likely this weekend.
What are your thoughts
Yeah.
about this? Are you excited about this?
It's terrible. It's really terrible. I even got Mr. KG himself to send me his worst episode, so you know they're gonna be bad.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited nonetheless, so thank you very much for providing that. If you guys are aware, Mr. Vaping and Gaming, Tevin, is actually streaming as we speak. He started about 2 hours ago, and he's been doing Sonic. So a very special shout out to Mr. Vaping and Gaming. I believe his birthday is tomorrow, so wish him a happy birthday if you see him. I'll give you the heads up, the spoiler, to give him a happy birthday wish right around midnight or something like that. But anyways, happy birthday to Mr. Vaping and Gaming. Thank you very much for helping us with the SOK water. Thank you very much for doing the Sonic streams. We very much appreciate it. So, as always, we'll start with the most, I guess you'd say, relevant topics in the world today of Darkside Phil, and then we'll expand out into other things. The first thing that I think needs to be talked about is the shenanigans with Angry Joe. Now, if you guys are unaware, Mr. Phil has often criticized Angry Joe, saying that he just wears costumes and he's an entertainer and he doesn't review things properly. And the best one, the most damning piece of rhetoric for Mr. Phil recently is he claims that Angry Joe was paid by the Witcher 3 development team in order to give the game a perfect 10 out of 10, and that Joe lacks the ethics to properly review games. Guys, your thoughts on that before we give more background?
I'll have to say, for one, Joe was on his forums, right? Or
That
we
actually turned
think?
out to be a fake.
Yeah, well, that's
So
what I thought too.
Joe said on Twitter that was not him, but that he agrees with the majority of the post, namely the first 3 paragraphs. So,
Alright. But yeah, what I see from Phil, it's like he's doing the exact same things that he's accusing Joe of doing, dressing up in costumes for reviews, that kind of thing. So really, it's like, pot calling the kettle black. You can't really say, he's doing something for views, and then you go right around and do the same exact thing. Kind of like, kind of doesn't make sense when you think about it like that.
Well, I believe Phil's stance is that he's now doing that to catch up, to make up ground. I need to do this now because that's what people need.
Or you try to be original. I guess that flew flew way out of Phil's reach though. So yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Anybody else got anything to add?
Yep. I have one thing to say about Phil's statements. Oh, that's great. Like you just said, the pot calling the kettle black. He has the gall to call out someone else's ethics regarding game reviewing. He's saying something about someone else's ethics. Really, Phil Burnell. I mean, does anyone else find that absolutely hilarious?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I mean that is some of the best comedy I've seen and heard of in a few years, actually. But yeah, there's really nothing much to say about that. It's just hypocrisy in its top form. He's talking about him wearing costumes when he, Batman, aka Goutman.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the ethics statement is just particularly funny to me. But I really have nothing else to say about that. I just find it pretty funny.
We constantly see the fact that, he's having to justify for his lack of audience. So he's basically throwing everybody who he could possibly have a professional relationship with under the bus. So he's making sure that he has no one to work with. So Project 7 comes around, he's like, hey, does any other YouTubers? Be like, no, it's going to hurt my career to work with you.
Oh, of course. I mean, he can't do collaborations with anybody.
No, he's not gonna do collaborate. Actually, when the fucking when Project 7, he's got it. He's working on Project 7. It's gonna be such a grand thing that he says, but he was asking for other people to pitch ideas to him so he could steal it without giving him any credit. There was one idea that I swear he was like considering, was that he was basically gonna rip off AVGN, where it's kind of like the storyline goes that he's like locked. I mean, you guys remember he's like fucking locked in a room and he has to play these bad video games. It's gonna be low budget. I mean, listen, for anyone asking for $2,000 or something like that a month on fucking Patreon, you're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be at least some fucking budget of quality in what you're producing. I mean, Patreon's not to pay your bills. Patreon is for you to offer a product, offer something to them. It's not to pay your expenses. It's not to pay anything. It's you're offering something. And if he really does take that route with it, which I don't think he's gonna do Project 7 at all this year, then it's just gonna be bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna get like swindled out of money, and I really don't think that he is gonna really do Project 7. And if he does, like you said, it's gonna be low budget. But I think he's just gonna try to write it down and say, "Oh, I'm gonna postpone it. I have other stuff to do." Because what time does he have to work on Project 7? Every hour of every day, he's just playing video games and streaming. Like, what free time does he have that he doesn't busy himself with? Yeah.
I mean, he's actually getting paid to take a couple days off too. So, not to mention he's got this $2,000 goal for the camera. Now he has a $1,250 goal for, I need to take a couple days off. You need to fund that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the other thing we're going to jump in, so that's a perfect segue. If you guys have not noticed, Mr. Phil actually made a key adjustment to his Patreon. Now, usually he's got the montages or the mini marathons, which I'll stress mini marathon. But heading over to his Patreon right now, let me go ahead and find this. I think it's under Phil Burnell now. Burnell. No. Okay, so it's under Dark Side Phil. Side Phil. Perfect. All right. So, going under the Dark Side Phil Patreon, which is currently sitting at $1,324.05, he has already sneaked in the Project 7 Rebirth. So, what he did, and this is $12.50. So, as his goals, he's got $7.50 for the best of DSP classics. So, it's a fucking montage.
Wait a minute,
That-
hold on. Wait, my bad. You said $750 a month for him to make a shitty little montage?
That's correct.
What?
Are you serious?
That's correct.
Are you really? $750 for fucking one montage?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is a bigger fucking ripoff than goddamn popcorn at the movie theater.
Absolutely.
What
So there you go. $750 for the montage. He's got $1,000 for the Plays It. Patron's Choice continues. So I believe that's going to be mini marathon. I don't know. He's not using the term mini marathon anymore. So, but then here's the best one. $12.50. Project 7 Rebirth begins. And let me just read you the description here. It's fantastic. It's no surprise that I've wanted to relaunch my very, in all caps, old series, Project 7, for quite some time. However, due to timing limitations and the fact that I need to constantly bring in revenue to, quote, pay the bills, I've been unable to dedicate the effort needed. If this goal is reached, I will take time away, at least 2 streams, if not 1 to 2 full days in August, to write, record, and work on the renewal of Project 7 with the hope that I'll at least have something to show for it by the end of the month. So, look at this, man. He's not even saying that this $12.50 guarantees that he's going to work on it. He's saying that he'll take 1 to 2 streams off in August. Not that this $12.50 makes sure that he does it. This $12.50 pays for him to take off 2 streams in 1 month.
Wow.
You know what I love? I love that he acts like he, you always notice that he acts like he's the busiest person in the world. The funny thing is, a lot of these people that do these "this is how you doing" plays, that don't do it for anything, they got their own lives too. Phil, you ain't the only one with a life. There's people like us at work, go to college or whatever, and we fit in the time to do these things for fun. How the hell can you not find the time to do it? And you're getting paid $12.50 a month on top of everything else you're doing. How can you not find time to do it?
It's incredible.
They're like paying him for him to take days off. That's literally what
They're paying him. Literally, they're paying him for him to take days off. Because to me, every day of his life is a day off because he plays video games for a living. I don't consider that work. But they pay him to do that. They pay him to quote unquote take days off, and they pay him to start playthroughs that he doesn't finish.
And here's the best part, okay? All right, let's just take this up. Let's say that he says 2 streams, if not 1 to 2 full days. All right, so let's take it this way. He either wants $625 per stream or $625 per day to write, record, and work on the Project 7 to have something to show for it by the end of the month. So what is he going to do? He's going to write, record, and produce a trailer? I mean, he's saying, the way that he says this, he puts in all caps, at least something to show for it by the end of the month. That doesn't communicate to me that he's going to finish Project 7 or that he's going to do substantial work for it. He's saying that you're going to pay him this $625 for a stream or a day for him to have something to show for it. So this is ridiculous. By the end of August, right? And this is the best part. He's having you fund July for him to do stuff in August, right? Then, while he's doing this in August, he's going to double dip and he's going to say that he needs some time in August as well, in September as well to do this. So he's going to take money in July and then he's going to take money in August so that he can do Project 7, which, by the way, okay, for the quality, for the level of quality that he's going to put into this, with the amount of people involved in this project, it should only take him 1 to 2 days. I mean, this is going to be like home video recording style. This is going to be terrible. I've been saying this, and you know, this doesn't require all this different. Oh, this is a grandiose project, and this is I need to take all this time. This is going to be terribly put together. It's going to be ridiculous. And anyone that watches this, they're going to feel ripped off if they actually paid this guy any sort of money. Which, in addition, mind you, he also was selling and still does sell $75 slots to be in that movie.
Wow.
Mark my words, it's just going to be one giant let's play. That's all it is. He's going to trick you into paying for something that's already on his channel. It's just marked under a different word.
If you look at the goals, the Patreon goals, especially the one regarding Project 7, it does not convey any sort of confidence in his own ability to put out his content. He's like, so I at least might have something to show for it. It's like there's no sort of confidence there. You notice that?
No,
It's
not
like
at
either
all.
you do or you don't. You know, you're either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, he's like, I at least might have something to show for it. It's like you're getting this much money to basically sort of think about doing it.
Yeah.
You would at least think, since he's trying to swindle people out of their money, he would try to at least have some sort of confidence in his own ability to write or put out content, but he's not even doing that. He's like, oh, well, I at least might be able to do it.
And you know what? Blame does go to Phil 100%. But at one point, I mean, I just want to ask people that give him money on Patreon. What are you doing it for? And if you're doing it for him to complete playthroughs and do this Project 7, then why do you even give him money? I mean, if you want Project 7 to happen so bad and you want him to complete playthroughs, paying him is not the answer.
It is a
You have to-
pay-through. You're right. You
That's
made a
that's-
mistake, but you're absolutely correct. This is a pay-through.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you vote with your wallet. Many people don't fucking do that. Take the money out of the Patreon, show him that he ain't gonna get shit out of it unless he starts putting work in. How hard is that? Don't complain about Project 7. Don't complain about him not finishing playthroughs if you're gonna enable him. You know he's gonna. You give him a fucking inch, he's gonna go a mile with it. So take that away from him.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion.
And his
Yeah.
problem is, sorry.
Go ahead. I was done.
For me at least, I mean, he's not even. I mean, looking at his Patreon, he's not even doing it correctly. Because you would think that if you want to get more money, instead of stay constantly at the same level and then bitch that, oh, I've only made $20 a month, that you would put your goals in after the already established goal. I mean, he had 3 new goals he put in this month, all below what he already has. So nobody's going to donate any more money for this $2,000 camera that will help him with Project 7 if there's nothing to show for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's people are gonna feel ripped off, and this is, it might be a way for him to squeeze a little bit more money out, but I mean, it's just people are gonna feel, ripped off by this, and they're gonna be like, all right, I don't really want to even be part of this anymore, because to ask your audience to give you $1,250 just to work on Project 7 is ridiculous. I mean, he should be doing this as fan service, and to say that the fans that aren't even asking for this, let me put that in perspective. I mean, have you guys personally seen anyone say, "Hey Phil, when are you going to reboot Project 7 all by yourself without Rambo or any of your friends?"
I think I've seen that like
Nope.
once.
Yeah, maybe once. That's all.
He
Yeah.
like hypes up this artificial demand. Like one person will tweet him and be like, "Oh, guys are fucking begging me to do this,"
Oh man, they're fighting each other. Holy shit, they're climbing over each other for this shit. You know what would have been actually halfway decent for him to do if he would have launched his Patreon with like an episode of Project 7 just to show that he's trying to work on something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean
Yeah, but
that
that would
would
actually
have
take-
showed. Yeah.
Effort,
He's just gonna film himself in like a room doing something. I could do that. I mean, come on.
Actually, Che, I think that would have been a great idea. Put it out with one episode, or at least a good sized or a good amount of a teaser trailer, say a 5 minute teaser trailer, and be like, this money would go towards, the ongoing process of filming, writing, recording this, and because I have to take time out of streaming and stuff to do it. So here's the first. If you guys like it, donate, and I'll keep making it.
So, real quick, while we've got a second, let me just make sure to key in two key people. First of all, we've got one of our great friends, SoK member, Mr. Freddy Fastfuck.
Ayo.
Perfecto. And right now we're connecting with somebody that just reached out to me in the chat, Seal Laughter Gaming. And he's a filmmaker, and he actually reached out to me and just said, I feel really strongly about this. I'm a filmmaker myself, and, what Phil's doing is kind of scummy. So, Mr. Seal Laughter, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us, how does this make you feel as a filmmaker yourself? I don't think we can hear him.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll work through those. Okay, so he's gonna get his audio up.
Right.
But anyways, we'll get him in just a second. But any other thoughts before we move over to Mr. Seal Laughter Gaming, so he can tell us about his thoughts as a filmmaker?
I think Che actually said it earlier that the original Project 7 was supposed to be like copy off of Angry Video Game Nerd, but I think particularly is now that he has no one to work with, it's not going to copy, it's going to be exactly like him. Because he's going to try to grab that audience.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be person playing game badly, which is basically everything Phil does on a day-to-day basis. It's going to get boring really fast. And it's not going to do with like any specific game. He's just going to pick a game off the shelf and do it. Like, I actually do think, it's going to be like one of his regular playthroughs. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it's gonna be. It's just gonna be another Let's Play with probably maybe some half-ass skits that look like they're YouTube videos from 2007 with an Xbox Live camera. But it's filming yourself in a room is not anything grand. I mean, I don't know what he's asking for, like a 4K camera or some shit like that.
Yeah, 4K.
But why?
With the floating lens, that way it can.
Why would you
absorb
need that?
Motion?
He's not gonna go outside. He's not gonna try to do some like extravagant stunts or like some low budget, detail shit. It's just he's gonna film himself in like his house or something.
Yeah.
You mean you don't want to see the gout in 4K?
Oh man. He's gonna shove his foot up to the camera again.
All
there
right,
you go.
So we've got Mr. Seal Laughter Gaming. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm frankly kind of pissed at this, to be honest.
Oh,
Very
shit. Here we go.
pissed.
The floor is yours, sir. Tell us all about it.
First of all, I do this stuff as a hobby, and forgive the beagle, he doesn't shut up.
That's fine. We'll work through it.
$1,250 for a project that he's not going to work on it. I guarantee you he's not going to finish it. Reason why a video project takes a lot of work and commitment, which I think he sorely lacks in every department. It's a waste of time. Not only that, but the problem is that he has to have this big, awful camera thing, and it's insulting. Like, sorry, I need to get my head clear, but thing is, you don't need a big, expensive camera. You have to learn how to use the camera. You gotta have the good shots. You gotta have everything. A big camera doesn't mean your production's good. It has to be the execution of it.
Right. No, it feels like the teenagers that get their Nikon camera and they think that they're photographers now,
Yeah, and I hate that crap. I mean, I have a Canon Rebel myself, but I don't go around saying, "Oh, I'm going to use all these filters. I'm going to shoot right. I'm going to present." I'm sorry, this is insulting to me. This is an absolute. This is a spin the face that I've been trying for years, trying to get a project off the ground. I've been funding it myself, and to see him just sit on his freaking ass and just beg for it, and he's not going to finish it. It's going to be either he's not going to finish it, or it's going to be completely crap. And I mean, literally, I can show you what you can do for free, like what you can do and how you can edit it. And he's not going to edit. He's not going to do crap. He's going to probably rely on somebody else, some poor sucker, to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean probably whoever was making those like green screen intros, I don't know, those like looping videos that he's been doing with like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Batman. He's probably gonna pawn it off on those guys.
He's going to do the same thing, and it's not going to work. He's going to fail everything. There's a list of incompetence. I mean, filmmaking is hard work, and it's a lot of commitment. It's not going to spend 2 days. Trust me, you're not going to get that.
No, he's just gonna record some half-assed, slapstick humor, and he's probably just gonna send the footage over to whatever poor sap is gonna put it together for him.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be, I mean, I've edited a lot of productions. I've gotten stuff that were into film festivals. I was an editor. I guarantee you the guy's going to have a heart attack. I mean, not Dark Side Phil, I mean, the editor is going to scream at him or yell at him saying, why isn't this right? Why did you do this? Oh, I don't know, dude. You got to edit it. I would just say, I've dealt with a lot of worse people. Trust me, I would just have an ulcer by the time if I ever had to work with it. But the problem is that it doesn't take 2 days. It takes years. I mean, it takes months of work and hard work, which doesn't have that. Oh, yeah.
But
I'm sorry. It's boiling my blood.
Now, did you see the first version of Project 7 at all?
I've seen parts of it. I mean, there's one guy named John Rambo. Someone, how I got into this Dark Side film mess, someone pointed me to his direction. I thought his gameplay was funny. So me and the one guy, we just mocked him. But he's like, who's that poor guy with the hat trying to be cheery? And it's like, oh, that's John Rambo. It's like, oh, I feel sorry for that guy.
But just speaking, have you seen it, and could you imagine the difference between that, which in its own right wasn't exactly a blockbuster. It wasn't exactly something that everybody was really fucking blown away with. It was for fans of the series, they said it was good, but it wasn't any sort of masterpiece or any sort of grand vision coming to fruition. What it really was a bit of fan service and a bit of showing off his friends and having them support him, much more than just Phil being a central character. Now, could you imagine that in contrast with Phil being the main character? And he hasn't even really said if he hasn't really even clarified if Panda Lee is going to be in it. I would assume she has to be, because it can't just be Phil,
You can't have a one-person show.
I mean, I think if I'm gonna imagine what he's gonna do and predict, I would say he's gonna put himself in the death mask or death face. He's gonna talk to himself, and he's gonna be like, I have to play video games, my gaming talent, and all this other stuff,
It's not going to work out. You can't make a one-person film. He's going to probably maybe have one or two people. The cameo, he'll probably just stick a picture in and say, there's your cameo. Thank you. Bye. No editors. I don't. Maybe there will be somebody to work with him, but the way I see it, and I'm just kind of looking outside, it's going to be hard to find somebody, and any professional editor will not work with this guy. No,
and Phil's not going to pay for it either.
Oh no, because they're expensive. Editors are expensive unless you get like a student production. But don't, like they said, there's going to be a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of work, and I don't think it's so. I don't think it's going to work.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Alice?
Well, like you were talking about the editors, I was just thinking and said it. The sad thing about Phil is he doesn't have any sort of quality control or check from Machinima. They don't really oversee anything he puts out, so he just kind of shits out everything he makes without an editor being like, you can't do this, or this wouldn't be good. There's no input from anyone else except for Phil, and he thinks every single one of his jokes is hilarious. So I think it would be a lot better if he got input from like Machinima or someone overseeing it, but that's never happened, and he's just gonna shit out whatever he makes.
It's the quality content, dude.
Well, it's Machinima. The thing is, Machinima, I have a bad history of machinima.com. I really do.
As do we
I-
all. Any of
Yeah,
us that have ever made parody videos, we know the name quite well.
yeah, and I used to be part of the community too, and I know, like, I remember Ross Scott getting screwed out of a contract. I've heard so many bad things. I was like, good thing I stepped away from that mess, because I've heard a lot of bad things too. So I don't think they'll check. I think they're like, okay, video, okay, more money, okay, ad revenue, good, who cares, blah 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 blah. I think QC is non-existent.
No, of course.
It never was.
So if you were going to give Phil advice, just based off of what he has as far as what's available to him, it's very likely that no one is going to fly to Phil. He doesn't have any sort of friends or connections out there. It's literally just him and Leanna. So knowing those realities, knowing the camera that he's been complaining about, if you've ever seen any of his vlogs, that quality, or the DSP tries it, that quality of camera. What would you advise, or what would you imagine would be the best way for him to go about this? And I think we can maybe try to compare that later on to see what he actually puts out.
Well, Phil needs to listen, for starters. He needs to work with people. Everybody's comparing Tommy Wiseau with Phil or something like that. The thing is,
Oh, hi, Liana.
if you ever read The Disaster Artist, have you read the book?
I haven't, no.
It's a great book because he made everybody's the crew of the room, a life a living hell. It's the greatest thing ever, and I just imagine if Project 7, it's going to be 10 times worse than the Room production. But like I said, Phil needs to learn, and he needs to cooperate, and he needs to stop digging a goddamn hole thinking that he's the center of the universe. Filmmaking doesn't work, especially if you're a director. You have to listen to ideas. It's like what Christopher Nolan said, it's not one person making the focus. It's 500 people making the film, and you have to help. Everybody has to help each other focus and get the shot right and everything. It's a huge collaborative effort that I don't think he has the ability to do. You know what I mean? It is, and he needs to learn to work with people, but unfortunately it's not going to work. And I've seen this happen multiple times where nobody will listen, and they produce terrible content. I'm serious. I can show you the worst film of all time, and me and literally a couple of people and I, we drank and did this, and we barely survived it. And I can show you the same filmmaker, she has the same mentality as Phil. I guarantee you that. Well, she has a much more compassionate spirit. She cares a little more, But she has the me, the center of the universe. Everything I say is right, and you're all wrong mentality. That's what's going to happen. This is literally, he needs to work with people. He needs that, but it's not going to work. And this is why I can say Project 7 is not going to happen, or it's going to be bad. He doesn't have the capability, the commitment, or the work to do it. He can have all the fancy technology. It doesn't give a crap. If you can't cooperate and if you can't execute it, you're not going to make a good product.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he's only giving himself a 2-day time frame to write the script, edit, shoot. 2 days.
2 days is not worth it. I mean, I literally, there's the project called the 48-Hour Film Project, and I was a judge for one of them. Mm-hmm. I've seen some work. It's decent, but for Phil, I mean, literally, you have to these people stay up all night and all day, and they're constantly at work. So 2 days, I bet maybe he's not going to do it. It's not going to work out.
He's going to do an hour, maybe, of work, and then he's going to spend, the rest of the day watching movies. I know it. That's what he's going to do.
That's why...
Yeah. He doesn't have any work ethic at all. He's going to barely do anything on the surface. And he's going to say, well, it's time to watch movies, Liana.
I mean, I know people like Phil. I've worked with people like Phil. These people are unpleasant to work with, and they produce bad content. They won't listen to reason. They will have this mentality, and everything just comes crashing down. This is the reason why maybe it's just why my blood pressure is skyrocketing right now. It's just I'm having these kind of flashbacks to all the times I worked with these kind of people.
Nah, I feel you, man. Fizz, you wanted to tell us that you're gonna, or not that you wanted to tell us, but you're gonna be working on a script of your own for Project 7. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was actually a charity challenge. I was supposed to be doing it with somebody, but since that person is no longer here, I will be taking over that duty, and I will have something by next Thursday too.
Awesome, man. I know that we'll probably try to compare that with what Phil puts out, and I bet you it'll be a lot better. Now, is this going to be through the perspective of the last Project 7 or the upcoming Project 7?
I'll probably do some sort of continuation off of that Project 7. I kind of want to do something where he tries to do a sequel with everybody who was in the original, but they're not there. So,
Well, he could
So-
maybe he can do it like Tea Party style and put like stuffed animals. Like Ileana's got a lot of pandas. She can put glasses and a baseball cap on one of them and call it Rambo.
he can also build up those human sculptures with all the unused soap that Liana's selling. So,
Oh shit! Hey Arnold
that's
style. Nice.
Hey, them stuffed animals would be better companions than Leanna.
Oh.
That's true.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to another topic here. I think we've beat the Project 7 basically to death. There's one thing that I had for the Phil topics, and I don't think there's any other ones. I'll just scan through the viewer topics before we move on to gaming and other stuff. But it's that Phil announced a while ago, because I remember interacting with this piece of information, that he was going to be hosting a panel at PAX West in is PAX going to be in like Washington or California? I don't remember the specifics, but he claimed that he's going to be hosting a panel for Machinima at PAX. And what he recently announced, a fan asked, "Will you be at PAX? Can't wait to meet you," stuff like that. And what he said is, "Oh, I don't think so. I don't even think Machinima's going to get me a ticket to go, so probably not." And it's just kind of crazy that, his fans don't really call him out on stuff like this, if anything. But this is one of the things where it's like, all right, you're going to go out and you're going to build yourself up and make yourself look important and get people to be like, "Oh, yeah, fucking Phil, he's the man. He's going to be at PAX." I bet you there were some poor saps that were planning to go to PAX because they thought that Phil was going to be there. You know that he has that hardcore of a fan. You know that there are fans out there. I bet you there's at least one person who thought to themselves, "I'm going to buy a ticket to PAX and I'm going to head out there because Phil's going to be hosting a panel out there. I can't miss this." And now Phil blatantly, for no reason, lied about this. He said 100%, "I'm going to be hosting a panel at PAX." And now he's had to step back and say, "I'm probably not even going to go there because they won't even pay for me to get a ticket." How did this happen? Where does this come from?
His ego.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
There you go.
His ego over inflated. It definitely.
He probably shot the gun early and say, "Oh, look at all these other people. They're getting invitations to PAX from Machinima. I'm gonna do it too." And when he got that notification email, he's like, "Oh, well, I guess the cat's out the bag now."
So there you go. No PAX. Looking through the viewer submitteds. Let's see. Anything with Phil? Project Reboot. Got that. Thank you, Fizz. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like there's any other Phil stuff. So there's one more thing that I wanted to cover, and then we'll move on. This Saturday, it almost feels like I'm promoting it, but this Saturday, Phil is going to be playing The Goutfather on on Xbox 360, and he posted an Instagram photo, and apparently because it had 100 likes on it, he is very excited and thinks that this is going to be a jackpot as far as attention and views. Let us give our thoughts. Now, does anybody have any fond memories of The Godfather 1 as I do?
Yes.
Real-
Classic film. It's absolutely one of the greatest American films ever made.
Absolutely.
Good film, good game.
The game was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the game. And to see him go back through and butcher it. Now, Leanna already did a game, a playthrough of The Godfather, the game, and it was horrendous. And what he's suggesting that this is going to be some sort of co-op, some sort of co-commentary, that is going to kill the playthrough. If anyone was excited about watching The Godfather just on the basis that Phil's going to fuck it up and he's going to be interacting with Italian Americans and boop-a-da-bop-a-da and all that other shit, he is going to be doing this co-commentary style with Leanna. She's going to suck all of the fun out of the game because she's going to be constantly butting in and talking about her previous experiences with the game. Oh, you know, the cars are real slow. I hate that. Oh, yeah, that guy's such a greaseball. She's going to suck the life out of this playthrough. I'm not excited.
Leanna, come act us a stream chat for me, okay?
This lineup is about as bad as the Super Bowl halftime show lineup.
Oh, man.
It's pretty awful. So I imagine it's going to be a bunch of Italian American impressions and jokes. And Leanna is going to spend the whole time basically battering Phil because he's sucking at the game really bad, and she's going to blame him for that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's basically going to be her complaining about him and him doing a bunch of stupid Italian American racist jokes.
She's going to lie the whole time and make it seem as though she did so much better at the game and that he's sucking. I know it. Oh, you're having problems with that? I did that no problem in my playthrough.
It'd be funny to see which one of them did worse in the end.
Maybe somebody will do like a bad idea.
Oh,
Just both of them bad.
It's a bad idea from the beginning to do any kind of co-op, co-commentary, any of that shit. Bringing her in, it's going to be a Panda Lee ruins it.
He just needs to keep her as far away from any video or playthrough as he can. That would, if he would have done that from the beginning, he would be in much better shape.
Oh, here we go.
Dude.
Miles says, bad idea, gout idea.
There you go.
Dude, she's terrible. I mean, I was just watching that one video, the worst of Panda Lee. She's so fucking annoying.
Yes. So.
Look, she's not funny. No. And she's got a bit of an ego to her because she thinks that she got with some guy and she makes soap that she's like better than everyone else. And yeah, I love the one video I saw where she was calling people lazy, but she laid down and she was eating chocolate for a vlog.
Chocolates.
Yeah, I like chocolates.
They both have delusions of grandeur. I can't tell which one it's more so. But basically, the playthrough is going to be like Soap Master versus Gout Master.
Oof.
The Gout Master.
There's no doubt about it, man. This is
no doubt about it.
It's gotta be Gout.
Oh, God. The Gout Father. Shout out to Nomad, who couldn't join us today. He's got some personal things he had to take care of. But shout out to Nomad with the Gout Father picture. That was fantastic. I'm pretty sure you guys saw it making the rounds on Twitter. It was outstanding. It was gout-standing, sorry. And we're very excited about that. So I'm sure that that'll be used, the Gout Father hashtag and stuff like that. We're excited for that. But there you go. Phil is playing Gout Father this Saturday. It's going to be terrible. I don't know. What do you guys think? A lot of views? You guys think there will be people watching this? I do.
Not really.
No.
I really do. I mean, his Crash had, like 1,000 people the whole time?
Yeah.
So
I think there would be a good amount, but not as many as Crash. Maybe 800, 7 to 900, maybe.
My guess like 500, maybe.
I'm going 400, 300.
Yeah.
Wow. That 1,000 for Crash was just for all a little bit of a 5 minutes of fame he got after the, you know what, bullshit incident.
I'd say the whole Crash views were more so for people looking for nostalgia and both Phil fucking up a childhood game. So I don't know about The Godfather though. I never played it when I was little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Godfather's like a little more past that time. It's like early 2000s, so not as
mid
big of
2000s.
Was it mid 2000s?
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. The game came out
on PS2.
Yeah, it came out on Xbox 360.
Like 2004-ish.
In fact, I think there's going to be more people, not more at the stream, but there's more people that would be able to watch a stream looking for nostalgia regarding The Godfather than there was Crash, because a lot of the people that played Crash in its heyday, they've moved on from video games and really don't watch streams. But the people that played The Godfather and would have nostalgic memories for The Godfather, I would say there's more of those people still around watching streams and more likely to watch DSP this time around. But I'm not going to say that stream's going to get more people, because I don't think it will.
Just a quick update, The Godfather came out 2006 for the PlayStation 2.
Tell you what, good luck, because I'm not watching that shit.
Oh.
You know he's definitely going to hype it up, because he keeps talking about his Instagram likes, and he got over 100 likes on his picture of him holding The Godfather, so... I mean, that's going to think he's going to be like record-breaking attendance just by Instagram likes alone.
Oh no, likes on like a completely separate website's gonna correspond.
He's like a teenage girl and shit. Like, oh my god, I got my first, triple-digit Instagram likes. Oh my god.
Oh, you could take a picture of a bologna sandwich and get 100 likes on Instagram.
Oh man, you could put up pictures of Leanna and the fanboys will give it 100 likes
instantly. First minute up.
All from you know who.
Oh.
So,
oh my god, I got 100 likes on Instagram.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
So speaking of views, this will be the last thing that we cover before we move on to other stuff, unless anybody else has any other DSP stories. And if you want to, check out the Gugada, and if you want to submit anything else to us, we'll be happy to talk about it. I'm looking at his views recently for Yakuza 4, and they are not good. From 2 days ago, I'm seeing 500 views. I'm seeing 600 views. The pre-stream has 477. I'm looking at Batman Arkham Knight having 800 views from 3 days ago. I'm looking at Lego Batman having 700 views. Man, and some of these games that he was claiming were, really, really beneficial to his views counts and all that other stuff, they are not doing too well. I don't know. I don't know what to take away from this. I don't know if it's going to be an ongoing trend, but for right now, the only things that are really popping up with views, like MKX in the labs, those are getting like 8,000. But as far as that goes, not really a whole ton of views on these streams.
Well, it's really hard to let's play Yakuza unless you have like a lot of charisma, because it's a very story-based game, and you're probably gonna have to sacrifice the story to make it entertaining, which is I think what Two Best Friends did. They just kind of like skipped over all the cutscenes.
Yeah, and you just can't it's not a game that you can jump into. You know what I mean? It's a game that it's gonna require at least a little bit of knowledge of the ones before that. It's not like something you could jump into and you'll figure out everything. So you're gonna be looking like a doofus if you won't even try to figure out any of the backstory to everything, and it's just gonna turn people off. And I just think it's a game better off for not let's playing. I think it's a game that if people really want to know what's going, they're gonna try to play it themselves.
All right, so that should do it for all the recent Phil news. I think we covered just about everything. Yes, Mr. Lester.
Did you know that Mr. Phil just beat Yakuza 4?
Wow. A Patreon goal completed.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It took only like 6 months.
How long was he playing Yakuza? 2 months?
Yeah.
That's 2 months.
Well, it's a long game though. I will give him that. It's a really long game. But he probably only did the story, like just the base story, not even the side missions. So yeah, it's a pretty long time.
I'm not sure.
Now answer this one question: How long would this game have taken if he did not have his stream chat?
A really long time.
Oh God.
A really long.
Yeah.
2 years later.
Oh my God, man! He fucking kicked me in the face. How was I supposed to dodge that? God.
Fuck that. I don't watch this shit. Nope.
Yakuza playthrough number 2,843. Uploaded 2 hours ago. 0 views.
0 views, yeah.
That's boring. That's fucking boring. Just think about it. Oh my god, it's such. I understand a lot. A lot of jobs are like fucking, the same shit over and over again. But listen, man, at least I'd like them. I like working outside and moving around, dude. I got to sit on my ass like fucking 8 hours a day, play games and chop the footage and upload it and sit there. It just seems like hell to me.
Well, he chops
Unless I'm
the
getting
footage.
a shitload of money.
He chops the
What's up?
footage while he's playing.
Yeah.
So literally all it is just he sits down, he plays games, he pushes one button a couple times, takes breaks, and then he just drags and drops it over to YouTube. And I don't know. Somebody said he has a bot that uploads his stuff. I don't know anything about doing that kind of stuff, so I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that there are things like that exist. But let's just give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess, in this case, and say that he's manually
takes the fun out of a hobby.
No, of course. It's
like fucking a brick wall. It's taking the fun out of something that's supposed to be fun. It's bullshit.
Now that's a quote.
I was the one a while ago that said that he botted his uploads because before, this was about like last summer, he had videos that were like 3 seconds long. I was like, that's normally a sign of a bot doing something and fucked up at the point. And he just uploaded something really short for no goddamn reason.
Well, don't forget that infamous part in his infamous playthrough that lasted only like 1 second.
Yep. Yeah. That was great.
To be honest, I would rather watch like Leanna's soap set, to be honest, in the molds. That's what I'd rather watch.
Jeez.
Sorry, let's
move. Good thing we have choices, man, because I ain't watching Jack.
So let's move on. Let's go to another viewer-submitted topic here. We've got Mr. Mechaboo. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Amazon Prime Day thoughts. I've got a lot to say. Any of you guys witness any of these groundbreaking, breathtaking sales, these deals, this deal-a-palooza at Amazon?
Yes. I saw a children's Batman costume for 8-year-olds and gotta hop on that shit.
I didn't see nothing.
I personally thought it was extremely underwhelming, and I thought the selection was very poor. I don't think they put any time into the selection. They put more time into the promotion for this sale, but not into the actual selection of products that go into it. So I thought that part of it was very sad. But in the selection of products in it's just very, very odd to me. It's a lot of random things that are probably sitting in the back of some warehouse that no one wanted to buy or overstock. And they're just trying to get rid of it.
So we've got our Amazon expert here, Mr. Miles, and you were just itching to come in here and tell us about Prime Day. Why don't you tell us your thoughts of Prime Day, sir?
Okay, so I'll admit that Prime Day was a little bit disappointing for people.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I got a few good deals. I got a PlayStation TV for $30 instead of $80. So I guess I got lucky with finding something I actually wanted. But I will tell you this, though. Oh, my gosh. As someone who works for Amazon, it's going to be a pain in the butt for everyone else. You guys just got to click a little button. But, oh, no. But, yeah, it was really disappointing. Very disappointing. I will agree with that. Actually, Walmart did 2-to-1 compared to Amazon. So they outdid themselves. So Amazon, they screwed up. But it's still a good place to work.
What I saw, and I was up late, so I saw most of the original deals. Then when I woke up in the morning, I saw, what was going on through the day, and it was just like, man, knee braces and knockoff watches and a giant box of crayons. Just nothing that you would want.
Come on, Fred.
I bought nothing.
I thought supplements.
Why would you stay up if all the shit was whack?
I was up anyway watching space documentaries.
Fuck that.
I like space, and I'll probably talk about the Pluto thing later. But I'm very enamored with space, Mr. Che. And I was up.
No, I'm not talking about
space documentaries, and thereby been able to look on my mobile devices on the Amazon app. Which, by the way, man, I got to tell you, dude, if you're on the desktop and you're looking at these Black Friday lightning deals where you have to click all the way across, it's terrible. I don't know why the interface is so bad on the desktop. Whereas if you jump on mobile, if you jump on an iPad or an Android tablet or even your phone, you can just easily scroll through all of the deals without having to like, man, it's just a really bad interface. I don't know why they have the Amazon interface designed so poorly.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing. But I just thought about one more thing regarding the sale.
Mhm.
It seemed like everything that was actually really decent on the sale happened at 12 a.m. exactly. I saw some jewelry. I saw some cameras. I know that the PlayStation TV happened at midnight, and then it actually went up in price again to $45 today. Um, I got an imported Digimon game for the Vita for $40 instead of 80.
Tell me how it is. Is it Cyber Sleuth?
Yes, it's Cyber Sleuth.
All right, tell me how it is when you play it.
It's amazing. I'm playing it right now, actually, while we speak.
A word.
But back to my point is, you have to be really lucky about when you go on there, because it's just ridiculous that the best deals are really randomized. Really randomized. I got lucky. Like, actually, the sale I think started at 10 p.m. that night. To be honest with you, then actually the night before, and then kept on going through the day. I can't, say that it did or didn't because I have no idea. But yeah, I just think you guys got unlucky when you went in and looked at it.
I was just saying, like, I went on there like 5 times one day, and I saw women's supplements, children costumes that you could get at the dollar store, and like knee braces all day. That's all I saw.
And
dude,
I saw computer parts.
I'm fucking cool as hell. I'm cool as fuck, dude. I'm broke. I'm saving all my dollars and paying for shit and change, so I ain't gonna be shopping online for like another 2 weeks or something. I don't need anything, so I'm good.
I saw computer parts. I saw computers. I saw cameras. I saw a few video games. I saw an entire camera pack for like $500 instead of $800. I got an iPad, 64 gigabyte, that was attached to Verizon and Wi-Fi, and it was a 4th gen for $500 instead of $800. So there were some good deals. You just had to look for them. I mean, really look for them. So I got lucky. But yeah, it just really depends on the time and where you look.
Well, this is what I think happened. I think they had a lot of shit products that, like I said, were probably sitting in the back of some warehouse somewhere, and they were trying to sell that. But I think they sprinkled a couple of really good products with some decent deals, so they could have something nice to throw on promotions, ads, and to keep people's interest. But I think they were just trying to get rid of a bunch of overstock or really old products sitting in the back of some sort of warehouse. So I think I saw some deals with a PS4 bundle, an Xbox One bundle, and a couple games from each console that were decent. And I just think they threw those in with with all the really strange items that no one would want, just so they could try to get rid of the, those weird ones and keep people's interest.
I can see that. I mean, Amazon's great to get most of your shopping. In all honesty, like Amazon Prime members have Pantry now, and so it's got some decent deals during the months. And you also find things like the Palutena amiibo that's only Amazon related, but that's not my point here. Point is, their sale was supposed to be bigger than Black Friday, and they got a lot of purchases. They had over, I think I read they had over 150,000 boxes come in through the facility in my town. But I mean, even then, it still didn't have the greatest assortment of interesting things.
Word.
It had a lot of just toilet paper in bulk. It had some jewelry in bulk. But yeah, it didn't have what people would expect for a sale.
I'll tell you what though, and thank God I'm not a fucking big fan. I don't buy a lot of shit. But Nintendo is a motherfucker and a half, dude. They'll fucking die. They'll die before they put any of their shit on sale. Motherfucker, you could have someone held hostage and shit, and all they asking for is for them to take $1 off something. They'd rather let the hostage die.
Mm-hmm.
Them motherfuckers are a motherfucker and a half when it comes to putting shit on sale.
I think the best thing I found was that Lord of the Rings Extended Edition Blu-ray was like 75% off. It was pretty much the only thing out the whole day, just that one item.
Yeah.
I saw a cute bracelet that was like 70% off or something obnoxious. It was a really good deal.
Yeah. Like I said, it just depends on what day it is, what time. They cycled their sales like frequently that day. I mean, really, that day. So it just takes really just luck. So yeah, that's my piece on this because I can't go into more detail in case of something happening.
Wow,
And I guess I guess you just launched out of a rocket ship too.
Yeah, sounds like someone's fucking a brick wall or something.
But anyways, thank you for the insight, Miles. We very much appreciate it. I think that about does it for Prime Day. I bought 0 things. I desired 0 things. And it was overall a disappointment. I think, like Alice said, they were just clearing out some stock and wanted to create some hype around it. These are all things that weren't selling very well. And the main tactic that they use is they really mark up the list price. If you look at the actual everyday price, I guess you can call it that. We'll take a Walmart cliche, but if you look at the normal price, not the list price, but like the normal available price, and then compare that with the super oh my god deal price, it wasn't very much different. And the reason why they were able to say, oh, it's 73% off and all that other shit is because the list price, I don't know where they got it from or what currency they used, but it was not realistic what they have the list price for most of the time. So all right, we'll move on. While we have Fizz here, I think this would be a great thing to talk about. Hashtag Fizz for 1D, submitted by Person X. Fizz, tell us about these wild and crazy shenanigans that you have going on with this hashtag, and how did this come about?
Well, it started a couple of days ago when I noticed there was a sort of be careful Harry trending, and there was over like 700,000 tweets towards it. Well, when I looked more into it, apparently one user made an account, issued a death threat, and everybody started freaking out. Well, I mean, I'm not saying death threats are good, and they're never good, but due to the age that we live in with the internet and how everything's anonymous, I mean, you can't let it get to you. And at the end of the day, these 7,000 or so tweets responding to this was kind of just, I said my opinion, said my piece, then left it alone. A couple of hours later, we get some directioners come in, and it basically translated into nearly 300 tweets just arguing with them back and forth, really pissing them off because they just would not ban me or move on. So I just kept doing it. So I think it's just to piss off the directioners because they're such a terrible fan base.
They're nuts as far as a fan base goes. Like, I don't think I've seen a more obsessed and crazier fan base. They are really and truly the stuff that makes up nightmares. They grow up to be probably female serial killers for the most part. I don't know. They're kind of scary for a bunch of little girls.
Remember the hashtag a while back where it's like hashtag cut for Zane because he's left?
Hey,
It's like
fuck.
they're holding
stupid.
a prisoner to
Hey,
a
let me
boy
tell you
band.
something. Let me tell you something, dude. Fuck that shit. But yeah, as far as death threats, everyone gets death threats. I get fucking death threats, and I'm a fucking nobody. I've gotten like 10 this year. I had this motherfucker tell me he was gonna fucking rape me to death. You think I give a fuck about that? I told him you could try. It's not happening.
What the fuck?
Big deal. Move on. It's not happening.
And
Well, everyone gets fucking death threats.
I mean, that was exactly what I was telling them. I was telling them at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're just giving that troll. We don't even know if it's a real death threat. Maybe it's just someone who wanted attention, but you're giving them like the attention at the end of the day, even though you thought, oh, we're protecting our idol, we're being a bodyguard, we're being extra security because apparently the arena security is not good enough. I mean, but at the end of the day, even though you thought you won the battle, you lost because you gave that troll the attention. So basically, that's all it was. Just me. So now I'm just trying to push this and irritate them some more.
Hell yeah.
I approve.
Their fan base reminds me more of a cult, to be honest. Like, you say anything at all, like, oh yeah, they could be better songwriters, and like 1,000 of them just instantly jump on you. They're worse than the DSP fan base, to be honest.
I mean, I'm telling you, this is bullshit pop music.
Oh.
It needs to go away.
Bullshit pop music.
Yeah, dude, fuck pop music, dude. It's ridiculous.
Just keep Little B and fucking.
No, keep him out
Pop.
too.
Oh, what's wrong with Little B?
I hate Little B.
Just keep Little B and Chief Keef. That's all we
Yeah.
know. All we
Chief
need the music
Keef.
in this
Bang,
room.
bang.
No.
Lil
Keep
B
'em
and
all
Big
out.
B. Bang bang.
Keep them all out.
do you
I'll
mean
send
keep
them.
'em
I'll
out?
ship them out myself.
Nah.
Let me be president.
You gotta have Chief Keef though. He's the songbird of our generation right now.
Yeah, for retards.
Wow.
But guys, that's what makes you beautiful.
Perfect. So there you go.
Why?
Thank you, Mr.
Fuck
Fizz,
that.
for illuminating us on this. All right, here's one from the person who we usually rig to win the contest, Mr. Zad Lovey. Shout out to Zad Lovey and his crazy contest ways. Also, shout out to Zad Lovey because the last time that we had our giveaway, we had some difficulties, so we were trying to give away Carmageddon that was courtesy of Zad Lovey. But because our great friend Flameclaw is not able to access the game via Steam, we're going to be re-giving it away at some point in the future. So I guess we could say that it was via Zat Lovey and then courtesy of Flameclaw. So shout out to both of them. Zat Lovey asks, "What's the deal with pocket knives?"
Che can go and answer this
Yeah,
one.
why don't you tell us all about it, Che?
What, pocket knives?
Uh-huh.
Fuck that shit. Use your hands like a man. I don't understand this shit with people. I mean, just use your hands, and if the dude's stomping your fucking head and you're about to die, then use something. But goddamn, have some goddamn honor in your life, people. Pocket knives, they're not gonna see it coming. What a bunch of jackasses to get hit with a pocket knife. You're not gonna see it coming. What the fuck is this? The Boy Scouts? What are you gonna sell some cookies afterwards? You stab them? What, are you gonna stab them and then sell them a bunch of fucking Thin Mints? Fuck pocket knives.
All right. Any other thoughts on pocket knives? I think Che. Well, I mean, if you'd like to go on, Che, we'd love to hear your rant on pocket
I'm tired
knives.
of this shit. I mean, if you're doing it to like cut wood or something, or like you're like, okay, that's fine. But you never know with people. They
You're gonna-
motherfucker,
yeah,
they
you're chop
people
down a tree
stab
with a
each
pocket knife.
other for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
no.
No, I mean, you
Jay-
can slice small pieces of wood with it.
Why?
You know,
If
I
you
don't
could
know.
slice
People
it
fucking
with a
do
knife,
that.
you could break it with your
I don't do
hands.
that. I don't fuck. I'm not saying I go around and do
Are
that
you
shit.
you saying like the guys that sit on a rocking chair and like whittle down a piece of wood and shit
Hey,
for fun?
maybe it's just a way for them to not have stress. I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but if they carry it, they're a pussy.
If they use it on an unarmed person, they are. It's bullshit. There's too many people doing that.
Now, if there are two people that are engaged in a pocket knife fight, is that fair?
Fuck. Why can't they? Why? What's so hard about with combat with hands? I don't understand that. It's like people are afraid of it. It's the devil to some people.
well, knife fighting is a martial art too.
It's West Side
But
Story.
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? A Jackie Chan movie? Why is everything got to be so fucking crazy? And don't complain about violence in this fucking society if you're for that shit. Simple hands.
Simple hands. The
Simple
peekaboo style.
hands.
Now,
It's
Che,
a real style.
when you were receiving your boxing training, was there any extra training to defend yourself if somebody were armed and you were unarmed?
No.
Now,
What do
if
you mean?
if somebody were to roll up on you with a pocket knife, what would be your first course of action?
I'm gonna try killing them. I mean, whatever way possible. I mean, if they get me, they get me. But hopefully, And hopefully they don't stab me they don't stab me somewhere vital, and I could kill them before they stop doing that shit.
Now, how are you gonna kill them?
I mean, listen, listen. We were just trained out of box. So we're not fucking like in the Navy SEALs or something where we like.
No, but there's certain elements of self-defense
They are,
in almost every martial art. No.
Yeah, but not. Boxers don't learn fucking how to defend against someone. At least most of them.
Hey, you
Or, I
can
mean,
bob and
maybe
weave from the knife, come up with an uppercut. Maybe.
Yeah, but it's not like they have someone with a knife fucking just like throw shit. I mean, fucking try stabbing you and shit, and you got to bob and weave from it.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
punch the
guess,
knife,
like-
Che. Punch the knife.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess you bob and weaving is of course, but you got to watch out for that shit. I guess what you can look at it is just a small extension of a hand, so you just still treat it like they're throwing fist at you.
You parry a knife.
Yeah.
Fucking no, I don't know.
Keep
No
your
one's ever.
distance.
Well, I wouldn't say no one's ever pulled a knife. There was that one fucking jackass. But
He's
anyway,
dead, he's dead now, so let's not talk about it.
No one's saying that. I didn't hurt anybody.
Some
I'm
guy
just
pulled a
saying-
knife on you, and it was all right after that. It's just,
I don't speak about it though.
Perfect, because he's dead.
I-
all
I-
right,
I-
moving
I-
on. Rest in peace to the guy who pulled the knife on Che. Let's look at some more viewer submitted topics. I'm sure that these will be fantastic. Here, Che, here's another one for you. Who is your waifu? Submitted by Pixelbuster.
Waifu?
Yes.
No one. No
All
one,
right.
because women are fucking a pain in the ass. Let me tell you something. If there's a woman out there that ain't a pain in the ass, you can be my waifu. How about that?
Perfect.
And I don't think they're out there. Y'all motherfuckers are crazy. Be happy with what you got and stop fucking expecting someone to take care of you.
You
'Cause
know,
all you getting
George-
is some of this McDonald's.
Yeah.
Crazy ass tangent from waifu, but okay.
Hey, but you know it's a fucking dollar. At least they're spending something on your fucking ignorant ass. Oh, I want to, hold on, let me say, when you go on a first date with somebody, how the fuck are you expecting them to fucking give you everything, the carriage and the fucking horse? What if you play them out? McDonald's.
Yep.
McDonald's.
You gonna die with me. I'm gonna get you some McDonald's.
Yeah, there you go. You buy them the carriage and the fucking horse, and then they're out $1,000 when you just say fuck you. Hell no. You spend like minimum $5, and if you get ripped off, then fuck it. It's $5, but it ain't a McDonald's.
I'm gonna see if I can find that video. So there's this. I guess it's a bit of an inside joke. Me and Che were watching this video about this guy who. What did they say in the comments? His head looked like the Easter Island.
No, they said his head looked like an ancient artifact. That was a good one. Yeah, oh my god, that's a funny insult.
All right, let me see if I
feel
can find
bad.
a YouTube link for this guy because this guy was fantastic. You know what? Matter of fact, why don't I just play it on the stream? Fuck it.
There you go.
Let me see if I can find a YouTube link and we'll insta sync it. All fancy like. Let's see here. So give me a second. Why don't you guys carry on about waifus?
I'm
and
serious.
I'll get this all linked up.
You got to be cheap with the first date. You got to know how the person is. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It could just be a walk in the park and talk. That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
What's wrong with that? It could be something romantic, something like the bullshit that happened in the 50s. See, back in the day, they weren't like that. Nowadays, people want everything to them in like the first freaking week.
Mm-hmm.
Screw that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, hey, I'm not saying everyone. There's a lot of women that can take care of themselves, and thank you. We need more people like you out there. Please. We need more of you to take care of yourselves, because I don't expect anyone to take care of me, and I sure as fuck don't want to take care of anyone, because it ain't happening. That's too fucking much.
That's too much.
That's too much.
Yep. The way I see it, it's like you got to be happier with yourself. If you're not happy and you're just desperately looking for people, I'm not going to be attracted. You got to be happy with yourself. Otherwise, it's just going to be drama. You know? That's me.
All right, so I've got the InstaSync. Let me go ahead and let me provide you guys with the link, and we will enjoy this. This is fantastic. I love this video. A lot of us love this video. Let me give you guys this link here, and we'll do a stream exclusive of exclusive viewing, and I guess it would be somewhat of a Let's Endure. Be fantastic. So I'll just wait for you guys to pile in. Looks like we're here. Anybody else need to get in here? All right, cool. So we got the instant going. Let me grab this, take this over, bang like that, ding like that, and play. Jesus.
Okay, bitch, so he done got you an apartment now.
I like this music in the background.
I told you, bitch, he was ready for you to get out of my
Oh, his
hand.
fucking head.
How
That's a bad camera angle.
Toes and hair done, but bitch, you staying with mama. Yes, he did the right thing.
Fucking head. Yo, it looked like he's got. It looks like they shaved like half his head off.
Fuck her, pussy, man.
Let me call you back.
But,
He's
like,
right.
I like this music.
He saved her.
He's supposed to. They fucking.
That doesn't like an HR
What that mean? Cause he fucking.
Yo, they got it.
He saved that
His
bitch.
haircut. They cut his hair too much, dude. What the fuck?
Let her die.
It's like they took a razor and just
Be of hunger.
split half his head
Or
off.
2 or 3 days. Don't get
Be
this
of
whole,
hunger.
a whole motherfucking apartment.
Looks like part
She
of
gonna have a
Birdman's
brother and
haircut.
come over there and chop that bitch out.
Oh.
He looks like an
See, her
Easter
mama
Island
wasn't having this
statue.
shit over there.
Yo, he's wild as fuck for that goddamn 1994 Wu-Tang grill he has.
Good job working.
Raekwon was walking that shit in the
You can't
90s.
save every bitch.
What is up with his teeth?
Got a grill, son.
Got a grill on.
Looks like a bootleg Martin Lawrence from the front.
Dude, how do you brush them? Your breath must smell like ass if you have a grill. How do you brush them,
Just
motherfucker?
takes him out.
You so mad.
I hate when niggas
Like
say
all that
every
metallic
bitch. They be saying I got these hoes. Nigga ain't
They're
got
not
no
like
motherfucking hoe.
braces.
He's saving every bitch.
I'm about to get
You
on
look
his
like
team
them.
because you ain't saving me.
Oh, you just take them out.
Say you gonna end up dying.
Kind of like dentures, but they go over your teeth.
I'm gonna get you some McDonald's.
Is he related
$1
to
Dollar
these
Menu
nuts?
John.
I want to know what she look. I want to know what she looked like. I bet you she's not that very appealing.
I'm gonna save you that far. I'm not gonna get you no motherfucking apartment,
Goddamn.
car, socks and drawers and shit.
Lies.
Oh
I'm
man.
straight up out the south. Do no shit like that.
I'm straight up out the south.
Saving all these motherfucking hoes. You gonna end up
I
being
just
broke.
nose
Did you
all
save
red.
the kids this week?
Obviously.
That was amazing. Restarted.
Alright, I don't know why it restarted. Anyways, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The saving the hose and such. This is me and Shay's favorite video lately, other than the that one video that was ridiculous with the McDonald's. A lot of McDonald's is the common theme, I guess. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
He's right.
He's gonna get
He's
us some
right.
McDonald's, and that's it.
There you go. Work for what you got.
So there you
Motto
go.
of the story.
There's the inside joke. There's the context to Chay's. I'm gonna get her some McDonald's. Perfect.
Straight. There's a dollar menu for a reason.
Dollar Menu Johnson. All right, let's see what else we got here. What game series would you like Sega to bring back? By Bloodshot Fenrir. I think that's how it's pronounced. He suggests that he would like to see Thunder Force, Virtua Fighter, and Outrun. Any Sega series that you guys would like to see brought back, maybe modernized or rebooted?
He kind of listed everything I wanted right there.
Put Fantasy Star Online on the fucking Vita for the United States. I'm not importing the Japanese one.
That's a hard one. Maybe Jet Set Radio?
Word,
I think they need to work on the series they already have. I'm still waiting on Yakuza 5. And it's been about 3-4 years since it was released overseas.
You know what they need to do? They need to reboot Sonic 06 for the next gen consoles. That's what everybody wants. They need to do it, Sega.
Maybe the Sega Rally or the Sega GT, the racing games. Those aren't bad.
Yeah. I'll give them some. Why don't they come hire me as their manager or something? I'll give them some ideas.
That almost sounded like a threat.
No.
Hire me, I'll fucking give them some ideas.
A threat to fucking save their company.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You ain't gonna save. Well, you gonna save them? You ain't gonna save no hoes. You're gonna save a whole company. You better just get them some McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in there with fucking like me. I'm only $5. I'm not spending that much. I better get reimbursed or something.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's Sega. A couple questions about when we're gonna do a Let's Endure. So we had plans to do it last weekend. Some things came up. Some people weren't available. Our current plan, as it stands, is what we want to do is we want to get into the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And what we'd also like to do is we'd like to get AJ, when he's available, to come along with us and kind of have a bit of like a director's commentary type of deal. And obviously, AJ being one of the utmost authorities on all things Metal Gear Solid, it would be good anyway, even if he didn't specifically do the This Is How You Don't Plays, and obviously being the pioneer of that and the creator of that. So that is our current plans. Those are our current plans for the latest Let's Endure. It could be as soon as this weekend, but if we can't get AJ, if he's got some things going on, because obviously he's a busy person, if we can't get AJ for Metal Gear Solid, we'll probably go into something else that's in the Google Doc for suggested This Is How You Don't Plays for Let's Endure. Let me actually look at that, because since we haven't been in a position to do one in a little while, I haven't looked at it in a little while. And looking at the current votes, it looks like everything's been approved so far as votes go. Resident Evil, which we just knocked out. It looks like there's a lot of votes for LA Noire, Mario Kart 8, and those are the top two. And then close behind that is Dark Souls and Super Smash Brothers on 3DS and Wii U. Also Walking Dead Season 2. So there's a lot of different votes here. It looks like LA Noire is actually the top vote as far as Let's Endures go. So we might be looking into LA Noire since that was requested and voted on. I'll also give you guys a link to the Google Doc here specifically for Let's Endures, and if you guys are interested, you guys can submit your own. If yours is already submitted, all you have to do is just put an X next to whatever you already noticed. But yeah, I mean, really, we'll take suggestions for anything. Let me actually delete Resident Evil since we just did those. And I think all those are up to date. But yeah, if you guys want to submit any This Is How You Don't Plays, go ahead and submit them. If you see it already, vote for it, and there's a bigger chance that we'll actually do it. So there you go. There's the Let's Endure. Thank you for the questions on that. That means that people want to see it. So that's exciting. It makes it fun for us. Let's see. What other viewer submitted topics do we have? Thoughts on the Suicide Squad trailer. Now, I didn't see this, so if you guys saw it, I'm more than happy to hear you guys talk about it.
I have... sorry. I was just going to say, I've never, read anything of Suicide Squad or before that, but looking at the trailer, I'm kind of excited for it. I just saw the trailer today, actually, and it seems interesting. They're going to take all these bad guys. Looks like the government's going to, make a task force to kill other bad guys, which seems pretty awesome. And they did it for bad guys so that they would take no blame for it. And just everything about the cinematography looks good. The character is like a prequel to really the Batman movies that we have now. So I really enjoy it. Anybody else want to add on it?
I think so. The film has a good crew behind it. David Ayer is a great director. He directed. I liked Fury. I liked End of Watch. I have a good feeling about it. I think the cast is pretty good. Everybody complains about Jared Leto, but when it comes to certain casting, I don't really say anything until I watch the film, because I remember people ragging on Heath Ledger and Ben Affleck, and they're gonna do crap. Well, just sit back and see what happens. I think it's visually well made. The acting's good. I'm like you said yourself, you're not familiar. I'm not really familiar with the Suicide Squad, but from the looks of it, it's pretty well. It's a great teaser. It's not exactly a trailer. I think it still wears off, but yeah, it's a good tease.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little familiar with Suicide Squad, comics based, and all the different members. They're all. It's got a pretty good cast behind it. I think a lot of it's going to, focus on Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Jared Leto as Joker.
Yep.
So I think those are going to be the two standout performances there. And of course, you know, any criticism you have of that trailer usually always directs back to Jared Leto and his appearance. But I personally think that his acting ability may overcome his appearance, and I'm hoping that's the case.
I was actually looking at the teaser, and they had like a little Jared Leto spot at the end, and he really did play crazy pretty well. I'm gonna say that. I recommend anybody that's interested to really check out the teaser because I enjoyed it. But that little piece with Jared Leto at the end, I'm pretty excited for his performance coming up.
Man, dude, what if he like got with Harley Quinn and shit? That'd be a crazy bitch.
Be a crazy kid.
Huh? That'd be fucking nuts.
I thought the trailer looked great. The thing I liked about it is they seem to get people that weren't obvious to play the parts of each character. Like people are like, oh wow, I wouldn't have thought of that person to play that character, which I really like. I like seeing some unexpected turns, unexpected actors and actresses playing. I thought the Harley Quinn, I thought she looks awesome, and I think what little I've seen of it, I think they picked the right person. And I like the Jared Leto Joker, to be honest. He seemed to do crazy well, like some other people were saying. And people were complaining about the short hair, the tattoos, but I like the change. I like the different. I like it being different. It's new.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
fresh.
I think it's interesting. I think it's a good approach. Trying to step away and doing something that has a different, I don't know, maybe a different attitude to it, a different vibe, where they're looking at, almost like the villain point of view and stuff like that. I think it's good, and I think it's a good change of pace, So, it's good. All these superhero movies coming out, I think people might get a little sick of, the good guys always win at the end, and this is more, some backstory on the villain. So, I'm up for it. I'm up to see it. Let's see, what else do we got here? If the SoK were zombies, who would you kill first? Via Shadow Raptor. Thank you very much, Mr. Shadow Raptor. If the zombies...
Pascal.
Oh.
Didn't even think about
Without
it.
hesitation. God damn.
Nomad.
Ooh.
Why Nomad? He can stab the zombies.
I don't know, because he's gonna try to get you first.
Yeah, but he's a zombie, so he doesn't know... his prison techniques and shit.
Oh,
well, we don't know anything if
zombie,
we're zombie. We're just gonna be trying to fucking bite whoever's next to us.
I would say
sounded like Rocky
Sorry.
and shit. No, you good.
I would say Che because he's so athletic and he runs a lot. So I think Che would be a serious threat to me because he being athletic and all.
Yeah, he'd be
rather than one that's not.
Oh. Go ahead, buddy.
Rather than one that's not a threat, the one that would be the least threat would be Evil AJ, considering he would probably have a hankering for dominoes rather than brains.
Undead. He still craves dominoes.
Dominoes. She'd be peace walking.
Dominoes.
He saved Domino's workers' brains.
Dominoes.
Dominoes.
He wants the secret to making a good Domino's pizza.
That would be something if Chase fucking power walking as a zombie. Doing some fucking speed walking and shit. Perfect technique and everything. Shit. Yeah, that would be some shit. So yeah, I guess we'd have to put Che down immediately. Who would be the last person that we would kill? Probably Miles, because he would be like, no, you guys are not allowed to kill me.
I'm going to be mad now.
I'm going to be mad now. You guys are not allowed to kill me.
Nah, you're going to be like, how do you... You're going to be playing Dr. Phil. He's like, how do you feel? How do you feel? Are you alright?
I would say I would be the least threatening since I'm so small and probably I really wouldn't be able to run or anything if it was a 20 or what is it 20 days later. I can't remember the name of the movie, but the movie with the fast zombies.
28 days later.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like one of those zombies. I'd be one of the slow ones, and since I'm so small, I don't think I'd be much of a threat. So I'd probably be the last picked off.
Dude, all that running would be awesome. 28 days later, I'd be sweet.
Miles would be a zombie with a grudge. Like, you guys are not allowed to kill me.
I'll probably save Fred for last because he's not going to bite you. He's just going to keep leg kicking you.
Yeah, well, I'd be busy eating some zombie pistachios. That's all I'm worried about, so... Even if I turn into a zombie, I will maintain my sophisticated palate. I don't have time for eating people. I'll just be chilling in the central air, some nice fucking lasagna with the nice pecorino cheese on there.
Someone's
Fantastic.
gonna fly a helicopter in there.
I would actually have a helicopter come and get me. They would recognize me by my tastefully laid out outfit and such like that. They'll be able to drop a ladder down. I'll be the first zombie airlifted out of that motherfucker to safety.
You'd be the first one that's fucking dying with that type of attitude.
Well, I'm just saying,
Well, he's already dead.
the helicopters are coming to get me, so that's all I got to say.
Then it gets
about
shot
that.
down.
Okay. So we all are in agreement that we would sacrifice Pascal first.
Perfect. All
And
right.
then,
Yes.
if
I'll agree
needed,
with that. Yeah.
we will sacrifice Nomad. And I'd be the Dr. Phil zombie if that were to be the case.
You'd help everybody out with
All
their
right,
problems.
well, what's your big problem there? Why you want to eat flesh?
I'd help everyone adjust to being a zombie.
Eating flesh is rude.
Why are you being so stupid?
Oof.
Stop that.
All right. So let's move on. Let's see. We've got some topics that we've submitted. I'll get back to the the viewer submitted topics in a second. Let's go through some topics that we, as a panel, decided to talk about. The first one of which being Dead Island 2 is losing a bunch of staff. Thoughts and opinions?
What?
That is
Really?
correct. Yes. Did you not see the story, Mr. Miles?
I have been out of the office today, so I have no idea.
All right. Well, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown. So, Jaeger Development, they've issued a statement, and they've said that there were conflicting visions for Dead Island 2, and that's what led to the split with Deep Silver, which was unexpectedly announced yesterday. So, essentially, they had a disagreement on what would be happening, and there you have it. Deep Silver has officially pulled out of Dead Island 2. So, this is most likely going to be heavily delayed. I don't think this is coming out anytime soon. The expected release date was going to be 2016. Unfortunately, though, Jaeger was dropped from developing the game, and it's going to be moved to another unnamed developer. So we're going to see exactly how this plays out. But
oh gosh,
yeah, completely switched it up. Any thoughts on that? Anybody a fan of the Dead Island series, or anybody disappointed by this news?
Nope.
Perfect.
I'm disappointed.
Not really.
I mean, I enjoyed Dying Light a lot, and I think that was very much in the same. I think Dying Light was sort of the more sophisticated, step forward of Dead Island. I don't know if Dead Island 2 is going to be more of a regression back to the original Dead Island Riptide, stuff like that. So if they do sort of take elements from Dying Light, and they do sort of keep a somewhat serious tone and stuff like that, I think Dead Island was kind of like one of those humorous zombie games, kind of like a Dead Rising kind of deal. So it had its own charm, but I feel like it's too clunky. It's a little too forced. The humor is a little too eh. So I think Dead Island 2 should sort of mature up a little bit and maybe take some cues from Dying Light.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't really like Dead Island. It was really weird when I played it. I didn't have much fun, but Dying Light I had so much fun in. So who knows what will happen now with the change of staff.
Yep.
I believe that it will mature when it eventually comes out. But I think it was kind of a test the waters kind of game, They wanted to bring in a combination of gaming styles and different things. And I believe the game was, like I said, just to test the waters. And I think they kind of matured and perfected. I think they're. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of screwing this up. I think it's going to get a lot more mature in Dead Island 2.
I can see that.
I'm more a fan of Jaeger because if you remember, they said in the chat too, they did Spec Ops: The Line, excellent underappreciated game. So hopefully, it's sad to see them go because they're great developers, but hopefully they can put out another caliber of game such as Spec Ops.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that.
I can agree with that. We'll have to see. If they're going to lose the development team, they might lose that sort of flavor. And I think that maybe they haven't really come out and say exactly what the opposing views were. So we're going to have to sort of see if they'll update on that. But maybe it was kind of what we were talking about. Maybe they wanted to keep that quirkiness and sort of have that humorous, sarcastic zombie atmosphere, and maybe they wanted to maybe go a little closer towards Dying Light. So we'll have to see about that. Next up, Metal Gear Solid 5 will have a playable demo at Gamescom 2015. Excited?
Louis.
Yeah, I am. It's just why Europe? Why not the U.S. for PAX West? But it's just like.
I'm just gonna annoy and piss some people off by saying I don't care.
Ooh.
I've only played one Metal Gear Solid game, and it was the first one in the late '90s, and I haven't played any since. It's just not my thing.
I'm gonna top that. I have never played a Metal Gear game in my life.
How dare you?
High five.
Damn, Lester's pissed about this.
Well, it's on my list of games to play. Okay.
You should really play the original Metal Gear Solid. It's a really good game.
It is.
Should do it. You should do it.
Okay then.
Alright.
Dang. Well, anyways, Gamescom 15 will be in Cologne, Germany, August 5th through the 9th. And then apparently there will be, I don't know, the way they lay it out, it's like, in Cologne, August 5th to 9th. For everyone else, September or some shit like that. But I don't know exactly what that means. But I do know that Gamescom is going to be August 5th through the 9th. And in that range of dates, there will be a playable demo of Metal Gear Solid 5, which will then release approximately 1 month later. And for us, unfortunate enough to be in the PC master race, sometimes it's a struggle. And we have to wait another 2 weeks in order to... in order to enjoy the Metal Gear Solid, but, what we're going to have to do, at least in my case, is I'll probably take that time and play Mad Max. So I'll use that 2 weeks to play Mad Max. There you go. Speaking of PC, just want to give a quick update. Now, we were asked a little bit about the Batman Arkham Knight, and a lot of people were talking about that for PC. According to a website that I frequent, WCCFtech.com, they have claimed that they have gotten their hands on a leaked email from Warner Brothers that says that the PC version of Arkham Knight will not be fixed until fall, even maybe up to spring.
Ooh, damn.
Can you imagine that?
Did they specify what the problem was, though? Because I don't even know, what's wrong with it that's making, PCs fucking turn into ovens and shit.
It is the worst possibly made game that they've done. I mean, the port was done terribly. Just absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So, that's the problem. It's not optimized well. It's not programmed well. They gave it no attention from the actual developer, and they shipped it off to another one in order to do this. And I don't know if they're going to continue on with the same developer to fix this, or if they're going to try to bring it more in-house. There's no details on that specifically yet.
This is personally why I think they should do it in-house, because I think I was saying this on the SoKast this week. When you get a coder or a programmer to look at someone else's code, they're just kind of like, what the fuck is this gibberish? I think you need to do it in-house, and I think you need to get the same people that made it to port it over.
I agree with that.
I think that could have been one of the problems, but I think time was another problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's a disconnect, because what you're essentially doing is you're giving somebody something and telling them to convert this to PC, and it doesn't work out that well, especially if they're not familiar with each other's processes or codes, and it's just bullshit. So there you go. I actually was, sort of trying to buy some time to play Batman by playing Arkham Asylum City and Origins, and then hopefully by the time I was done with those, the game would be ready. But it doesn't even seem like that. So I'm sort of not really looking forward to that. Maybe I'll play those games and then maybe I'll move on to something else. But whatever. Something interesting that we noticed making its rounds on the news, the New Horizons space probe. The reason why you guys have been seeing all kinds of cool pictures of Pluto and all that kind of stuff is because of a space probe named the New Horizons. And it just so happens that the New Horizons space probe is being powered by the exact same CPU that powered the PlayStation 1. Now, obviously, there was some radiation hardening and some different some different commands that they were able to give the computer to do some different switching, but it's the same processor from the PlayStation 1. Can you guys imagine this? The fact that they used a game console, publicly available, consumer grade CPU of a game system, and that's actually what's out there billions of miles into space taking pictures of Pluto.
Not really. It is interesting. Like, if you compare, like it's the technology, there's stuff we sent our father that's way obsolete. In fact, the computers that sent the Saturn V to space, your pocket calculator had more computing power. But the reason why they did something like this with CPU is obviously to save power, because it was up there for at least, was it
9 years?
It's been up there
9 years.
9 years now, yep.
Yep, you need something out there that can still wake up, that doesn't use much power. So what can you use?
Well, don't you think there are more? I mean, I would just think that there would be more power efficient processors that could do more than a place. It's an interesting choice, and I think the point of them putting out this story is for people to say, "Oh, that's really cool. A video game console piece, CPU is powering this." And, it's funny, on July 4th, of all days, they actually had a problem with the chip resetting itself, and they actually had to use they put redundant systems on there, so they actually had to use the backup CPU to get back communication with it. But they thought that they were going to completely lose the probe on July 4th. They were able to get reconnected with it, and it's kind of scary because it takes 4.5 hours for them to receive a signal from the craft, and then it takes 4.5 hours for them to send one back. So for them to understand there's a problem and to try to even start to fix it would take a minimum of 9 hours.
Yep.
So, but I'm really blown away by this Pluto stuff. I watched the documentary on it, and I'll keep it brief, but I'm just really amazed. They found icy mountains on Pluto, and they're saying that it's possible that there's still ongoing geological processes on Pluto. And one of the other reasons why it's so important for them and why it'll give a good amount of information for them to go out there is because they believe that the former planet, I guess you would call it a dwarf planet at this point, they reclassified it, was obviously formed with the Big Bang. And the reason why it wasn't able to grow is because of its distance from the sun. It was almost as if it was a planet that was in the process of growing, but along the way became so distant from the sun, it did not have the luxury of having the gravitational pull from the sun to pull in all this different matter for it to grow. So what they're thinking is that by looking at Pluto and all these other bodies in the Kuiper Belt, they can get a better insight as to what the universe looked like towards the very beginning and what something looks like in the process of growing. So there's going to be a lot of different stuff that they're going to be able to get from this voyage to Pluto. They were able to get footage of a volcano happening on Jupiter, which is the first time they were able to see a volcano anywhere other than the Earth.
Yep, Io.
What's that?
It's on Io, actually, rather than Jupiter.
No, they had it on Jupiter, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I said, I just watched it's called Chasing Pluto, a documentary they aired last night on PBS. I checked it out last night. And, it was on Jupiter, actually.
Oh, I thought it was Io. Because Io was the volcanic moon of Jupiter. But, yeah, like you said, this is, be happy, Fred. This is actually the golden era of space exploration. We landed on a comet. We went to Ceres, which never has been seen before. nobody knew what. Well, besides little fuzzy things, and now Pluto. I mean, all this stuff and all the information series, could it contain water? Enceladus is contained to have water, or well, they knew about it, but there's like warm, literally. Enceladus has a warm mantle that could be a possibility of life or anything like that. All this stuff is happening this year. It's actually kind of exciting if you follow on it.
Oh man, it's really great.
Hey, completely disregard that giant scientific achievement because that man is a misogynistic shitlord. Who cares about landing a spacecraft on a comet?
Perfect.
That pissed me off. I mean, comets they could be called the vessels of life. I mean, they're theorized to actually contain stuff that could possibly make life. It's exciting.
It is really exciting. What they're thinking is that when Pluto gets closer to Earth, it actually thaws out all this ice, and there might be some time for there to be some sort of organic matter. What they're thinking is that the light areas that you see are ice, and the dark matters you see are actually organic material. So this could actually be incredible. And they've been able to photograph different things. It's going to take about 16 months for us to get all the different photographs, and they're obviously trying to figure out exactly what type of materials are out there. They're thinking that there's methane, they're thinking that there's nitrogen, stuff like that, but they have spectrometers out there to exactly figure out the fingerprints to these different elements and stuff like that. So this is going to be great, man. I think that it's hard to overstate how much of a development this is going to be. And keep in mind, I mean, before this, the only images of Pluto we were able to get were from the Hubble telescope that were very, very small and very, very pixelated. I mean, it looked like, worse than a 16-bit video game, what we were able to see, or worse than an 8-bit video game, what we were able to see from Pluto before. So for us to now get high-definition photographs of the surface, to get more insight as to what's actually out there, and to get more insight to the Kuiper Belt region, which, again, is what they believe are planets that were not able to fully grow into planets. So, essentially, sort of, they were frozen, and they're kind of, like, stuck in this process of development. So, it's awesome, man. I'm really blown away by it. If you guys are interested in this stuff, if you guys want to hear smarter people than us talk about it that actually know exactly what they're talking about, I would highly recommend going, I believe it's PBS.com. It's a series called Nova, and it's called Chasing Pluto. So if you're interested at all in it, definitely check that out. They talk with the guys while they're doing it. They're looking at all this footage. They're looking at the new pictures. They're talking with them and what this means and all this other stuff. So definitely listen to them instead of us.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, but it's also on PBS.com, so you can just get it
Word.
for free.
Oh, for free? Mm-hmm. Oh, word. All right. Cool.
Chasing Pluto.
Planets in Purgatory. Awesome.
Yeah, that's very exciting to me. It's just to hear that there's ice and they think that's organic matter. Very, very exciting. So I wanted to say something serious about it.
That's going to be awesome. I mean, like I said, they're going to come up with all these different... they had to rethink their thoughts on what was it? They completely reformulated their thoughts on I think it was on geological processes ongoing for different planets. Like they're thinking that there's actually mountains and stuff that were formed within the last 100 million years, since there weren't these huge craters and stuff like that. So they think that there's ongoing geological processes on Pluto. So they had to completely rethink Pluto. Now, obviously, it's not going to become a planet again, because it doesn't dominate its orbit space, but as a quote-unquote dwarf planet, it's definitely something interesting to check out. And obviously there's going to be different bodies that are maybe even bigger than Pluto and all that kind of stuff. So,
hey, SoK trip, let's go to Pluto.
Yeah, going to Pluto.
There you go, ladies first. They get first fucking into the spaceship, but let's go to Pluto.
Perfect. Moon Man, you're first.
Oh, what?
Oh,
you were so disappointed by that. Oh, what?
Listen. If there's any fucking aliens, I'm sure they're gonna want to see a woman first. So we need to not make sure, because if they see me, they're gonna fucking kill us.
Yeah, they're gonna get in a boxing. We're gonna get in a boxing match.
No.
I'm
probably gonna be like, who the fuck is that? And then we're gonna get blown up as shit.
All right, what if you had to square up with an alien? What would you even think about doing? Maybe they've got these different techniques that you've never seen before. Maybe
I got this awesome.
Really
I got them. I got this awesome technique where I push Moon Man in front of him.
Perfect. It's like a lunar eclipse.
There you go. Hey, there you go. Just trip him. Trip him. Everyone leave.
There you
And
go.
let me tell you something. If I trip them and you motherfuckers ain't running out, I'm gonna trip all of you too. You better take advantage of that.
All right, so we're not taking Che at all. We're leaving.
Yeah, you're gonna fight a fucking alien, right? They're gonna like fucking touch you with them long ass fingers and shit. I'm sure you want that.
We're gonna say that we're leaving in 2 weeks, and we'll just leave in 1 week.
Hell, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm
gonna
be on the fucking
throw us all to
podcast.
the aliens.
I'm gonna be on the podcast. Be like, all right, so these motherfuckers left without me. Let me just cuss them out for the next 2 hours.
Also, thank God we did not give Che the stream key to be able to fucking stream on here. So
let me tell you something. I think I can be a good intergalactic diplomat if there are other races.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure that you and the aliens will have a fantastic conversation about ham sandwiches and how you ain't saving no hoes.
Yeah, I'll buy him some cigars too.
Cigars in space.
Yep. Yeah.
Space cigars.
It's gonna be like a Cuban Castro diplomatic meeting with the cigars and probably the other stuff.
Y'all better be nice.
Someone's gonna end up getting killed just like it.
Yep. Y'all better. Well, you know what? Since Alice is so nice, when me and the aliens, take over the world, she'll be saved.
Perfect. You guys can repopulate the Earth. So, anyways, we'll move on. We've got let's see, Sega's talk about change. Now, Miles submitted that. Miles, are you still with us, my friend?
Yes, I am.
All right. Why don't you let us know about Sega's talk about change?
So I was randomly searching on the internet a couple of days ago, randomly. And I came across that Sega had said that they fucked up with their fans and that they were putting crap out and they lost all the trust. Yeah, randomly. But yeah, they lost all the trust with their fans, and they said they wanted to fix everything to get their fans
trust.
trust.
In the background, Mr. Miles.
Nothing.
It sounded like a chainsaw.
My bad. But basically, they were talking about how they wanted to get their fans back and how they wanted to rebuild some stuff. And the thing that really made me really I don't really know if they're going to do it is Sega has been leaning towards more PC and mobile games recently. So who knows what's going to happen. Maybe they'll bring Sonic back and actually make it better and not make it shitty like Sonic Boom. Who knows?
Hopefully.
That's what I heard. Wasn't a big word. So
I hope that they're able to rebuild their brand. I really do. Games, a lot of the games were from my childhood, and I really wish them luck on that.
Games like whatchamacallit? Nights into Dreams. I really like that game from Sega. I wish they would bring back more fan favorite games instead of doing new IPs. But I do like the Yakuza series too. But I just wish they had more to the table than just Yakuza right now. That's just me.
Yeah, because especially because I'm a big Yakuza fan, and even then, they're focusing on franchises. Franchises that sell well in Japan stay in Japan, even though there's a big audience here, and then we'll see them pop out so many Sonic games that nobody likes, and it's just. We want some good franchises instead of the same old Sonic game that we proved to you doesn't work 5 times in a row.
Yeah. Especially when you half-ass it. I'm sorry, Sonic Boom was terrible.
So there
yes,
you go,
it was.
Man. Hopefully
it was
we'll
the
see
worst
some better
crap in the
things from
world.
Sega.
Yeah, hopefully. Sega seems like it's actually really genuinely sorry about how crappy it's gotten over the years, but all it takes is time. We'll see what happens.
So that about covers Sega. Let's see. Looks like somebody is submitting something as we speak. Let's put them on the spot. All right, let's read it as it goes. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 by TTSBB1 also known as Freddy Fast Fuck. Mr. Freddy Fast Fuck, why don't you tell us about Five Nights at Freddy Fast Fucks? 4.
Well, there was recently a trailer that came out a few days ago for the game, and I'm not sure what to think of this one. The setting is in a house for whatever reason, and and not a pizzeria, and it's confusing because I don't know where it's supposed to be taken next, and I thought that 3 was a pretty good ending.
Well, I can try to guess. Is there central air in the house? Because it might be my house.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Fred. Are you saying something?
Nope. That about did it. Central air.
I think I know where it's gonna go next. I think the Fast Fuck brand is either gonna start making toys, or there's gonna be like souvenirs or something taken home by some kid or some person from the restaurant, and I think that's where it's gonna go next.
Well, you see, in the ending of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the place got burned down and what was left was sold at an auction. So some people think that the shit that was at the auction is going to be brought home. Some people think that it's the Bite of 87 victim reliving it in a nightmare. There's just a whole whirlwind of crackpot theories per usual. So I don't know where this is going to go.
I just don't really see the appeal of the game as like a whole. I mean, it's a fun game to pick up and play like once, but to have 4 sequels, it's kind of just like one of those Sega CD games where you like look at all the pictures and see what's going on. That's what it reminds me of, at least, like those old school 90s games.
You definitely can't forget about the movie coming out too.
Oh yeah, there's that.
They're making a movie?
That's the thing. That is the thing. I think that the game has a way better story than it does have gameplay. I think that the gameplay just serves as some way for them to get out this really interesting story. So I actually would like for them to have a movie and, sort of flesh out the story a little bit more.
I agree completely. I think a movie would be pretty great, or maybe some graphic novels or a book.
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just hope that this actually is the final one, and anything from that point on is really milking the series. But then again, I think this one is already milking it, so I don't know.
I personally think it should have stopped at 2. It's been like dragging for a while for me. Like I look at like all the story videos, I'm just not interested in it. Kind of like, yeah.
Well, throughout the other 2 games, did they flesh out the story more? Or?
Yeah, the story was broadened quite a bit, and there were questions answered and new questions were made. It's just kind of an unending cycle of these questions were answered, these questions are new, and what the fuck is going on now?
So I guess it did serve some sort of purpose. And like I said, if they're going to turn it into a movie, it should be good. It'd be kind of cool to see a visual of, what was going on before. I don't think Five Nights at Freddy's really has any sort of cutscenes or anything like that. It's more just spoken word, right?
Pretty much. In Five Nights 2, there's like transitions from the nights whenever you first play it, but it's nothing really major. It's very cryptic on what you're even doing or seeing.
Oh.
So.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Now, is there any sort of word with this movie how closely they're going to be working with the creators, or is this just sort of a we led you the license kind of deal?
I'm pretty sure that the creator, Scott Cawthon, is going to be definitely working on it, but there hasn't been much news other than the announcement of the movie, so...
Well, we'll have to look out for that. Let's see. What else do we got going on in the Googadai? Horrible licensed games, since I see one of you made the mistake of buying shitty Godzilla games, submitted by Anonymous. Shitty, horrible licensed games. What do you guys think? I would say most movie-based games are shitty.
Yep.
Superman Returns.
Oh.
Fuck Superman Returns.
I agree. Usually completely shitty. especially this Godzilla game. Just milking the name of the movie series for a little bit more dough.
Yeah. Dude, fuck that, man. Give me some of that money. I can make a better game. I swear to fucking God, I can.
I could imagine the game you make. You know, get one of those notebooks and start drawing like stick figures on it, and the next page do a superior style animation, but in a notebook instead. That could
And
be
they go
your
to
game.
McDonald's. Yeah, they go to McDonald's, but we don't call them McDonald's because I ain't paying them shit. We call them Stick Donalds or some shit like that.
Yes.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude. You can have like lasers and shit, and you can kill everything.
I mean, you look at oh man, you you look at the video games license from movies and shit like that, like Batman and stuff like that from the old days, LGN. That's pretty much an inside joke. But recently, do you guys remember that shitty fucking Matrix game?
I
for the
liked
Xbox.
Why?
I liked it.
I forgot what it was. You play like as a woman or something, like with crazy
Actually,
hair
I have the
and
disc
shit.
right here.
I like the Matrix games actually. I like
Me
the
too.
Enter.
The first
I like
one,
the Path
the
of
one
Neo
where
and
you're
the other
like
one.
jumping off the wall and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'd enjoy it.
Like,
I
the
didn't think
control
it was
is
that
so
bad.
bad. That's the thing. I just
Oh.
didn't like the control for it. It
Wasn't
felt
that called-
so weird.
Path of Neo or something like that.
That was the second one.
It was terrible. Ugh.
I enjoyed it. Fuck
I have
it.
the disc
Yeah.
here somewhere.
I thought it was fun.
I think it was PS2 and Xbox.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was Xbox.
Enter the
Just a
Matrix.
bunch of shooting.
I think that's what it
Yeah,
was.
I have it right here, actually.
Mhm.
Right here. Still have the disc.
Dude, fuck that. When you got shit like X-Men fucking Origins out there and shit, Wolverine, fuck that.
I mean,
that.
the game was licensed by Atari, so I can see how it would fail.
I had fun playing it. I just play it for maybe 20 minutes. You get to shoot a bunch of people, jump off walls, cool hand-to-hand system. I thought it was really good. But you people probably didn't like the Blade game that was either on the PS1 or PS2 either, which I thought was fun.
You people.
I like the Blade game. I just didn't like Enter the Matrix.
They
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
reminded me of each other.
The control for like Enter the Matrix with the jumping off the walls didn't work half the time for me. It's really weird. It seems like if they could have just like tightened the controls a bit, it would have been a great game. It just didn't appeal to me.
I understand.
Yeah.
I just like the shoot 'em up style of it and the exaggerated kung fu movie style hand to hand was fun to me. I don't know how old I was. I was pretty young at the time, and I was just like, oh wow, a lot of guns and a lot of punching and kicking. So this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. I remember my friend had it. We were both playing and I was watching him play. We took turns and shit. It was terrible. Ugh. The controls were bad. I think especially we had the PS2 version. I guess that one was the worst version, but man, that was not good. So
What licensed games?
what are the other licensed games that ended up being completely terrible? Specific examples.
From any time, do shit from like the
Anytime.
NES.
Yeah.
The X-Men game for NES, LJN.
The arcade one?
They made 2 of them.
Oh, how about?
Uh,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, they both had Wolverine, and one didn't have claws, and one had retractable claws that hurt you. Yeah, I'm done.
I'd have to say there was you guys. When I say you guys, I mean you guys, the other people in the call. You probably haven't heard, but there was a Blade video game, but for the Game Boy Advance, I think it was, or maybe for the Game Boy Color, and that game was obnoxiously awful. And then there was I think it was an Austin Powers video game that was pretty shitty as well.
Awesome.
I think there was a Space Jam video game.
Really?
And then, now this one is the worst movie video game I can think of, the Saw video game. And I love the Saw movies. The Saw video game was just awful though. They tried to do like a Heavy Rain cinematic movie style video game, and it completely failed.
Oh shit! You know, Phil gave it a 10 out of 10.
Scaled though, it has to be a scaled review.
Yeah, it's scaled.
Oh, yeah.
10 out of 10.
There you go.
If
10
he
out
gives
of 10.
10 out of 10, that means that it's a perfect.
Yeah.
Near perfect.
It's
Not even
perfect.
near. It's perfect.
Perfect.
Another game that I actually 100%ed that was movie license was Terminator Salvation for the 360, and for some reason, I really liked that game. It was just like, it was so linear. You just shot robots, but it was really satisfying because they took like tons of bullets when you actually finally fucking kill one. It was a pretty good game, even though it was terrible.
Fuck Nomad.
Nomad. Jesus, all right.
Not even in the call. But
I'm just kidding. I just like thinking random shit. Nomad knows he's cool.
Fuck Nomad. Well, there you go. So, hashtag fuck Nomad, I guess. I guess we'll get that going. Thanks to Che. But I see a lot of people in the chat expressing dismay at the footage of that Mr. Flameclaw has given us. So thank you, Mr. Flaming Claw, for this spectacular game footage.
Switches it up. You know what I mean? A little unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing. We had footage from Mr. Booglemaster 102. We had footage from Mr. Freddy Fazfuck. And we appreciate it. We also had some footage from Pixel Buster. We'll see if we'll... Well, this will go on, so we'll probably put some Pixel Buster footage next
Look,
week.
it's Tails.
Yeah.
Tails was always a fucking jackass.
what's wrong with Tails? Why you hate Tails? Why you hate Tails?
I like Knuckles. I don't like Tails. Motherfucker.
Come on, Tails flies like a fucking plane and shit.
Fuck that.
It's a
Yeah, but in this game, he always
helicopter.
dies like a motherfucker.
Oh, he doesn't fly a helicopter, he flies a plane.
He flies
He's like
like
the
a
fucking-
helicopter.
But
He
Tails is
flies like a
cute.
helicopter, but he flies
Yeah.
a plane.
He flies a plane?
Yeah, he flies
I
a
thought
plane.
you
You
said he
never played
flies
the
like
original?
I thought you said he flies like a plane. I was gonna say he
Oh,
flies like a helicopter.
He
Tails
flies a
are
plane.
cute.
You never played the original Sonic games?
Nah, I didn't have a Genesis. I was a Super Nintendo.
Wow. Terrible.
Well, you're mad that I didn't have a Genesis growing up. All right.
Sega does what Nintendo don't, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Blast processing too, right?
Blast
Got an
processing.
emulator.
I might emulate it. I might do it later. I grew up with Nintendo, so you can't blame me. Blame my
How the
parents. How about that?
How the fuck do y'all remember that shit? That was like 20 years ago.
Blast processing? Well, because that's like a joke. Like a
No,
movie.
just
Sega
getting
does what
shit like
Nintendo
20 years ago and shit.
I didn't. I had a Genesis back in like '99. My sisters
What
had
did I
it.
have when I was younger?
I had a Super Nintendo back in like '99,
Che
and I think
I don't know. What the
Like-
fuck. I don't
like
remember
right.
that shit. I think the first console I fucking had was at fuck. I think it was like I don't know, man. That shit's a blur. Yeah.
Well, anyways, so if you guys want to submit some fantastic footage to the podcast, let us know, and reach out to me on Twitter. Usually we'd have Moogle for the past several episodes. Moogle's been in the process of moving and stuff like that, so his internet has not been reliable. So, I've been streaming. So if you want to, hit me up on Twitter and let me know if you have game footage. We'll put it up on the illustrious podcasts, and very much appreciated to everyone that ever gives us footage, because we originally, if you guys remember, the early episodes, we used to have just like a slideshow of fan art. We'd have like 10 or so pictures that would just scroll through.
Oh man.
And
I remember them days.
Old days.
yeah, somewhere along the line, we decided, well, let's put something that is a little more eye-catching. Put some eye candy up there. So there's some progress in everything, I guess. But yeah, again, thank you for the footage. We appreciate it. Moogle Master, Mr. Freddy Fazfuck, and of course Flaming Claw. So thank you guys very much. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to cover before we get out of here for tonight?
The fucking what the fuck is going on this screen?
Let me
Dude,
actually check.
fuck this game.
Did we talk about Iwata?
Thought we did last week.
Did we?
No.
It's on here.
We didn't? Oh.
Did we?
I don't know if we did.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about it
Was this week or last week?
last week.
Oh, so who put it on there for this week?
Jose, some guy named Jose put it on the viewer suggestion topic thing. Viewer submitted topics, and I told him we already covered that last week, and he was like, "Oh, fair enough."
It's not even on. It's on like a real one, like the R one.
Cool. Well, what else is on there, Moon Man?
Amazon Prime Day. Looks like we covered everything on like our Google Doc.
Dude, I'm gonna play Sonic 06. Fuck this. I want to see what it's like.
I actually,
No.
you know what? I actually don't. Sonic 06, okay game, in my opinion. It's an okay game.
I gotta check this shit out.
I played through it. Now I think about it, it wasn't that bad. After you
It's very glitchy though.
very glitchy, yeah, don't get me wrong, but the game isn't as bad as people make it out to be.
Which is worse, Sonic Boom or Sonic 06?
06, Boom's a close second, but Sonic 06 isn't like as horrible a game as people say it is. Plus, you can use the glitches to your advantage. Yeah.
Why do they call it Sonic Boom?
Sonic Boom.
Because it's a pun on the Sonic.
Well,
Yep.
the boom part. Why do they call it Boom?
Because it has the word
Because-
Sonic in it.
I was gonna
Sonic
say
Boom.
like
Oh, Sonic Boom
because
like in
of
a-
Guile's
yeah.
Sonic Boom.
Yeah, like
Street
Supersonic. They'll probably have all these like different like Sonic Hurricane. I don't know what the fuck. I almost said Sonic Hurricane.
Way to promote a
Sonic
rival's.
Hurricane.
Way to promote a fucking rival in your game title, Sega. That's awesome.
Sega.
Let me just call my next fucking game Super Mario Galaxy. If you just play it, how about
Yeah.
that? There you go. That's the
Perfect.
best thing. Fuck this game. Play Mario. That's the next game for Sega.
Sonic Drive-Through.
Fucking jackass.
Sonic Shake or Sonic Slushies.
I could go for
Sonic
a
slushies.
Sonic is pretty fire. This podcast, of course, being brought to you by Sonic. Sonic, where you can get customized slushies just your way, priced
Wait, I
just
think
right. Sonic, America's drive-in.
Hey, I could get a shake half off right now.
Damn right. It's all right. So it seems as though we've come to the end of yet another episode of the Sons of Kojima podcast. This, of course, being Project 39. Thank you guys for donating to the Sons of Kojima Patreon, of course. We definitely appreciate the thousands of dollars per month so that we can do this podcast. Make sure that you continue to donate to the Sons of Kojima Patreon. We need your thousands and thousands of dollars, so thank you guys for the Patreon. But anyways, we'll sound off on who was here, where we can find each other, and what we've been up to, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. So first and foremost, Mr. Moonmane, I have two questions for you.
Yo,
Where can we find you, and what have you been up to?
where can you find me? You can find me on my non-existent YouTube at That Damn Moon Man, which I changed the name again for some reason. And you can find me on Twitter at Moonman_SOK, where I post the best tits, vaginas, and asses.
Perfect. So
Ooh.
please make sure to be 18 plus if you're going to go to Moonman's fantastic Twitter, where he posts scantily clad females. So there you go. Mr. Miles, where can we find you, and what have you been up to?
1 second. You can find me at the usual places. I guess now I'm called Dope Side Phil on Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube at Miles Above. It's my new YouTube channel I'm starting to work on probably next week once I get my splitter for my PS Vita or my PlayStation TV, where I'll be recording Digimon Cyber Sleuth for people to look at since it comes out next year, and Persona 4 Golden. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, and Live Let's Endure tomorrow, 7 p.m. EST. Haseo and I are back. It's Crash Bandicoot.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! There we go. Awesome, man. So we'll be able to. We'll be checking that out. Mr. Chiziche, where can we find you, and what have you been up to?
You can find me on Twitter at Retrospective PC, and if Just look at that shit if you want to know what I've been up to.
Perfect. Mr. Lester, the same two questions to you, sir.
Well, Mr. Fred, you can find me on Twitter at Lester LYS. You can find me on YouTube at Echo. You can find me on Twist TV whenever my internet works at Twist TV/Echo. See you in the swimming pool.
Ah, shit. And we'll see you on the SoKast every week. Lester, tell us a little bit about the SoKast.
Well, it's a fun podcast. Every week I invite friends to the SoKast and we talk about crap for 3 hours, and it's really fun. Had a lot of fun this past week with Fred and Alice and Dave McCauley of Fuse 4.
Ah, shucks.
And yeah, we had a lot of fun.
I was there too.
Ooh, well, we didn't have fun with you. Well, we specifically didn't have fun with you, of all people.
Freddy Fast Fun. Had a lot of
Wow.
Freddy Fast Fun.
Freddy Fast Fun, and yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun.
Perfect.
And, that's the one I guess for you.
Perfect. The always. Let's think. I'm trying to think of a fantastic an adjective for this. Let's see. The always. I was trying to come up with some alliteration for this one. All right. Well, let's just. All right, fine. Let's just cut it short. The always fun Freddy Faz Fuck. Where can we find you, and what have you been up to?
Well, my YouTube is TTSBB1, or you can check out my other YouTube that is Freddy Fast Fuck, and you can follow me on Twitter at TTSBB1, and my Twitch at TTSBB1 as well. Either tomorrow or Saturday, I will be doing one of the charity goals that I put out for me months ago, which is play Infamous 2 to 100% on hard and the Good Karma and on Good Karma and to 100% in one sitting.
Tomorrow.
Ooh.
Okay, tomorrow it is. Fine.
There it is. You heard it here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. The delightful Alice, where can we find you and what have you been up to?
You can find me at Twitter at 7incontext, and you can find me on YouTube at Alice7. And I've been making Battlefield videos, been appearing on other people's great podcasts and streams, and I've been annoying people professionally. So that's what I've been up to. Thank you for asking, and thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to the viewers for attending.
Perfect. The doctoral Dr. of Fizz, where can we find you and what have you been up to, sir?
You can find me YouTube. If I ever update Twitter, Dr. Fizz. Use the same username for pretty much anything. I'm working on that parody script, and this is how you don't play Yakuza 4.
Looking forward
so that
to
should be fun.
Very much looking forward to that
I
one.
salute you on that one.
Yes, good luck with that. All right, we've got our impromptu guest, the filmmaker extraordinaire, Mr. Laughing Seal Gaming. Where can we find you, and what have you been up to, sir?
Let's see, gaming-wise, Twitter, it's Seal Laughter Gaming. You're not going to find much, but YouTube page is Seal Laughter Gaming. It's just the sugar-induced. I'm going to cram a couple of people in the Skype. Watch me fail horribly at video games. Seal Laughter Gaming is the same thing. But don't expect much.
Very humble. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time here tonight. We very much appreciate it. And we appreciate your time into the world of filmmaking. Some genuine passion and all that stuff. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much for your time tonight. And, of course, I will humbly present to you where to find me. First of all, you can find me on Twitter at TIHYDP, the acronym for This Is How You Donate to My Patreon. You can also find me on YouTube, users/itsFredFux, or you can just type in Fred Fux in your handy-dandy YouTube search bar, and you'll find a picture of Al Pacino, which is, of course, representative of me. In addition, you can find me on the Sons of Kojima podcast, the SoKast, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know? All right. Anyways, that about does it as far as what I've been up to. Trying to work on a little bit of This Is How You Don't Play Hotline Miami Part 2. I'm also brainstorming some ideas for DSP Tries Being a Man Part 3, since we did reach that goal.
Time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, the last one came out in January, so there's been almost 8 months worth of material to work with here. So, anyways, I'll probably put out like a Google Doc and get people's input on what they want to see in Being a Man Part 3, just like we did for Being a Man Part 2. So it'll be a fun thing for everybody to, get involved in. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll make it happen. But anyways, that about does it for us. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. We very much appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for all of your support in every which way. We could not do this without you guys, so thank you guys. And as always, we love you. Go fuck yourselves.
Peace.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Fuck